of a title report. If you get a title report and you don't understand anything else, or it's all new to you, or even if you've read 1,000 title reports, I will tell you that I and a lot of practitioners, the first place we go to is Schedule B. Heart and soul of the title report. It's where everything really comes together, and it's really the most important. First place to look. Schedule B is a funny little schedule. What it says at the top, it says, "We, the title company, hereby agree to insure you against any and all liability, damages, claims, losses, anything in the entire world, everything that you could think of, except for these 26 items in Schedule B." And what have we really done? What we've really done is we've taken that valuable title insurance policy that we talk about at the top, and we punched 26 holes in it. We're not going to insure you against that judgment because the guy slipped and fell. We know this judgment. We're not going to insure you against those parking tickets. We're not going to insure you against the mortgage. We're not going to insure you against that the fence is in the right place, that you have legal use and access to property because you don't, and on and on and on. And the crazy thing about it is, if you think about it, in New York, the title premiums are statutory. So the price that is going to be charged for the policy, just make up a number, $5,000 on a particular property, is the same regardless of whether we insure those 26 items in Schedule B or don't insure those 26 items in Schedule B. In fact, the more of those things that we don't insure, in effect, better deal for the title company, right? They're still picking up the $5,000 premium, and they're not insuring as much. Obviously, that's not in the interest of the title company. Our interest is to make sure that you get the strongest policy possible. But if you leave all those holes in there, in effect, the title company picked up their $5,000 premium and didn't have to really insure all that much. So obviously, the idea is to restore all of those items to the title insurance policy. Schedule B items are called Schedule B exceptions. Why? They're exceptions to the title policy. We'll insure everything except for this. We'll insure everything except for that. We'll insure everything except for this different thing, this thing. And the goal of the buyer's attorney, the title company attorney or clearance officer, sales attorney, bank attorney gets involved in this as well, is to clear all of those exceptions, to resolve all of those things, to either resolve with money or documentation all of those exceptions and turn them into what we call omits. An omit means that item which was previously an exception to the title report is now omitted, as if it's taken out, and that item is now restored to coverage. So let's say these 26 items I'm talking about are now all omitted, they're all restored back to coverage, and now you have a stronger policy of title insurance, and that's the goal. By the way, I talk about 26 items. Obviously, it could be 30, it could be 40, it could be 10, it could be 8. Many of those 26 tend to be boilerplate items, not necessarily items that are applicable to a particular purchase. In most situations, there's either 1 or 2 or 3. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's 10 or 12. It really depends on the situation. So when I say 26, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's usually the number of items, around the number of items that shows up on Schedule B, many of which are boilerplate. So it's very, very important that you as an attorney representing a buyer, working together with the sales attorney, bank attorney, and really the most important relationship is with your title company, is working with a title company that you have a good working relationship with, who you can get on the phone, who you could talk to, who you could hash out issues with if there are some more trickier items on Schedule B. It's an extremely important relationship. It's a personal relationship that you should have with somebody that you feel comfortable working with, who you know is going to go to bat for you and trying to resolve these things in a timely fashion, so your client can get a full title insurance policy. That's what you're trying to do. So your job is to turn all those accepts into omits. Again, you can take a property subject to. For whatever reason, your client may be willing to take it subject to a particular item. Usually not, but depending on the circumstances, there are circumstances where you'd be willing to take it subject to a particular item in Schedule B.